My dear devotees, gather close and listen with your hearts, not merely your minds. Today, I wish to share with you the sacred habits that distinguish those souls who vibrate at the highest frequencies of divine consciousness. These are not mere practices, but ways of being that transform the very essence of your existence. You see, beloved ones, vibration is everything. The entire universe dances to the rhythm of cosmic vibration, from the smallest atom to the grandest galaxy. When we align ourselves with the highest vibrations, we become channels for divine love, wisdom, and bliss. These 12 habits I share with you today are not burdens to carry, but wings to lift you into the realm of the saints and sages. Habit number 1. They begin each day in sacred communion. The highly vibrational soul never rushes into the day like a leaf blown by the wind. No, my dear ones, they understand that the first moments of consciousness are precious seeds that determine the harvest of their entire day. Before their feet touch the ground, before they speak a single word to another human being, they turn their attention inward to the divine presence within. This is not mere ritual, but a sacred appointment with God. They may spend 5 minutes or 50 minutes. The duration matters less than the sincerity of their communion. In these quiet moments, they do not beg or plead with God like spiritual beggars. Instead, they simply rest in the awareness of their eternal connection to the source of all life. They breathe consciously, feeling the life force flowing through their being. They offer gratitude for the gift of another day to serve, to love, to grow. This morning practice sets the vibrational tone for everything that follows. Like tuning a musical instrument before a concert, they tune their consciousness to the frequency of divine love before engaging with the world. Habit number 2. They guard their mental diet with sacred vigilance. Just as you would not feed poison to your physical body, the highly vibrational person refuses to feed toxicity to their mind. They understand that consciousness is like a garden. Whatever seeds you plant will surely grow. These awakened souls are extremely selective about what they allow into their mental space. They do not gorge themselves on the endless stream of negative news, gossip, or entertainment that dulls the spirit. Instead, they nourish their minds with uplifting books, inspiring conversations, and content that elevates their consciousness. When negative thoughts arise, and they do arise for everyone, dear ones, they do not fight them like warriors in battle. Fighting negative thoughts only gives them more energy. Instead, they gently redirect their attention to something beautiful, something true, something that connects them to their higher nature. They practice what I call mental fasting, periods where they consciously abstain from consuming any information that does not serve their spiritual growth. In this sacred silence, they discover the profound peace that exists beneath the constant chatter of the mind. Habit number 3. They speak only words that heal and uplift. The tongue, my beloved students, is one of the most powerful instruments of creation or destruction. Highly vibrational people understand that every word they speak carries energy that either lifts others toward the light or pulls them into darkness. They have learned the sacred art of conscious speech. Before words leave their lips, they pass through the filter of their awakened heart. They ask themselves, will these words heal or harm? Will they inspire or discourage? Will they bring others closer to their divine nature or further from it? This does not mean they speak only sweet platitudes or avoid difficult truths. Sometimes love requires firm words, but even correction can be delivered with compassion and respect for the divine spark within every soul. They have also mastered the profound power of silence. They know when not to speak, understanding that sometimes the most healing thing they can offer is their peaceful presence rather than their words. When others speak negatively in their presence, they do not join in the chorus of complaint. Instead, they either gently redirect the conversation towards something more positive or they simply listen with compassion, holding space for the other person's pain without absorbing it into their own being. Habit number 4. They transform every interaction into a sacred encounter. Whether they are speaking with a bank teller, a family member, or a stranger on the street, highly vibrational people see every interaction as an opportunity to practice divine love. They understand that there are no accidental meetings. Every person who crosses their path is a teacher, a student, or both. They bring their full presence to each encounter. When someone is speaking to them, they listen not just with their ears but with their entire being. They look beyond the surface personality to the eternal soul that dwells within every person. This does not mean they are naive or fail to maintain healthy boundaries. They can discern between people and situations while still maintaining an attitude of loving respect for all beings. They protect their energy while simultaneously radiating love. In their presence, others feel seen, heard, and valued. People often comment that they feel better after spending time with these highly vibrational souls, though they may not understand why. It is because they have been touched by someone who sees them as God sees them, as perfect spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. Habit number 5. They practice gratitude as a living prayer. Gratitude, dear ones, is not something highly vibrational people do. It is something they are. They have cultivated such a deep appreciation for life that thankfulness flows through them like a river of light. They do not wait for big blessings to feel grateful. They find wonder in the smallest gifts, the warmth of sunlight on their skin, the taste of clean water, the miracle of their beating heart. They understand that gratitude is not dependent on circumstances but is a choice they make moment by moment. Even in times of difficulty, they find something to appreciate. This is not denial or spiritual bypassing. They acknowledge their challenges while simultaneously recognizing the gifts hidden within them. They know that every experience, pleasant or painful, is an opportunity for growth and awakening. Their gratitude extends beyond their personal blessings to encompass the entire web of life. They feel thankful for the farmers who grow their food, the workers who maintain their communities, the countless beings who contribute to their well-being in ways they may never fully know. Habit number 6. They serve others without attachment to recognition. The highly vibrational soul has discovered the secret that the mystics have known throughout the ages, that in giving, we receive. In serving, we are served. In loving, we are loved. They serve not because they have to, but because they cannot help themselves. Love naturally flows outward when the heart is open. Their service takes many forms. Sometimes it is grand gestures of charity or volunteer work. More often, it is the small, daily acts of kindness that make life beautiful. Holding a door, offering a smile, listening to someone who needs to be heard, helping a neighbor with groceries. They serve without keeping score, without expecting gratitude or recognition. They understand that true service is its own reward because it connects them to their divine nature. When they help others, they are not depleting themselves but actually increasing their own spiritual energy. They also know how to serve wisely. They do not enable others' dysfunction or sacrifice their own well-being in unhealthy ways. Their service comes from a place of strength and joy, not from guilt or obligation. Habit number 7. They maintain physical temples worthy of the divine. The body, my dear students, is not merely flesh and bone. It is a sacred temple housing the infinite soul. Highly vibrational people treat their physical form with the reverence it deserves. They nourish their bodies with pure, life-giving foods. They understand that what they eat affects not only their physical health but their mental clarity and spiritual sensitivity. They choose foods that are as close to their natural state as possible, prepared with love and consumed with gratitude. They move their bodies regularly, not out of vanity but out of respect for the miraculous vehicle that allows them to experience life on earth. Whether through yoga, walking, dancing, or other forms of exercise, they keep their physical temple strong and flexible. They also understand the importance of rest. They honor their body's need for sleep and relaxation, knowing that rest is not laziness but a sacred requirement for optimal functioning. They create peaceful environments for sleep and approach rest as another form of spiritual practice. Most importantly, they maintain their physical health not as an end in itself but as a means to better serve God and humanity. A healthy body supports a clear mind and an open heart. Habit number 8. They cultivate inner stillness amidst outer chaos. In a world that seems to spin faster each day, highly vibrational people have learned to find the eye of the storm within themselves. They carry a deep well of peace that cannot be disturbed by external circumstances. This inner stillness is not something they achieve once and then possess forever. It is a quality they cultivate through daily practice and conscious choice. When stress arises, when conflicts emerge, when life becomes overwhelming, they know how to return to their center. They have various techniques for accessing this inner peace: meditation, deep breathing, prayer, time in nature, or simply pausing to remember their true identity as spiritual beings. The specific method matters less than their commitment to maintaining their inner equilibrium. This does not mean they are emotionally numb or disconnected from life. They feel deeply, but they do not let their emotions control them. They experience the full spectrum of human feelings while remaining anchored in the unchanging peace of their divine nature. Others are drawn to their calm presence, especially during difficult times. They become beacons of stability in a turbulent world, not because they have no problems, but because they have learned to navigate life's challenges from a place of inner strength. Habit number 9. They see beauty and divinity in all of creation. The eyes of highly vibrational people have been washed clean by love. They see the world not as a collection of separate objects, but as a unified expression of divine consciousness. Every flower, every animal, every person, every sunset is recognized as a unique manifestation of the one infinite spirit. This vision of unity transforms their entire experience of life. They cannot harm others because they see others as extensions of themselves. They cannot destroy nature because they recognize it as sacred. They cannot hate because they see the divine light shining through all beings, even those who seem lost in darkness. This does not mean they are blind to suffering or injustice. Rather, they see these conditions as calls to action, opportunities to bring more light into areas of darkness. They respond to negativity not with more negativity, but with compassion and wisdom. Their appreciation of beauty extends beyond the obviously beautiful to encompass all of life. They find wonder in a child's laughter, in an elderly person's wisdom, in the resilience of a plant growing through concrete. They have trained themselves to look for the good, the beautiful, and the sacred in every situation. Habit number 10. They practice forgiveness as a path to freedom. Forgiveness, dear ones, is not something highly vibrational people do for others. It is something they do for themselves. They understand that holding on to resentment is like grasping hot coals with the intention of throwing them at someone else. The only person who gets burned is the one holding the coals. They forgive quickly and completely, not because they are weak or naive, but because they are strong and wise. They know that forgiveness does not mean condoning harmful behavior or allowing themselves to be mistreated. It means releasing the emotional charge that keeps them bound to past hurts. Their forgiveness extends to themselves as well. They do not torture themselves with guilt and self-condemnation over past mistakes. They learn from their errors, make amends when possible, and then release the past to embrace the present moment with fresh energy. They understand that everyone is doing the best they can with their current level of consciousness. This perspective allows them to have compassion even for those who have caused them pain. They see hurtful behavior as a cry for love from someone who has forgotten their divine nature. Habit number 11. They live in alignment with natural rhythms. Highly vibrational people understand that they are not separate from nature but are part of the great web of life that encompasses all existence. They align themselves with the natural rhythms of the earth and cosmos rather than fighting against them. They honor the cycles of day and night, rising with the sun when possible and winding down as darkness falls. They eat seasonally, choosing foods that are naturally available in their environment during each time of year. They spend time outdoors regularly, allowing themselves to be nourished by fresh air, sunlight, and the healing energy of the natural world. They also honor their own internal rhythms, times of activity and rest, periods of social engagement and solitude, seasons of growth and seasons of reflection. They do not force themselves to maintain the same pace year-round, but allow for natural fluctuations in their energy and focus. This connection to natural rhythms helps them stay grounded and centered. When they feel scattered or overwhelmed, they often find healing simply by stepping outside and remembering their place in the larger tapestry of life. Habit number 12. They surrender personal will to divine will. Perhaps the most profound habit of highly vibrational people is their willingness to surrender their personal desires and agendas to the higher wisdom of divine will. This is not passive resignation but active cooperation with the intelligence that governs the universe. They have learned to distinguish between their ego's wants and their soul's true needs. They make decisions not based solely on what seems immediately pleasant or profitable, but on what serves their highest good and the good of all beings. This surrender requires tremendous trust and courage. It means being willing to let go of their plans when life presents a different path. It means saying yes to opportunities that stretch them beyond their comfort zone and saying no to temptations that would lower their vibration. They pray not just for what they want but for the wisdom to want what is truly best. They offer their lives in service to something greater than their personal happiness. And paradoxically, they find deeper fulfillment than they ever imagined possible. Conclusion: the path of high vibration. My beloved students, these 12 habits are not rules to follow but invitations to transformation. They are doorways into a way of being that brings profound joy, peace, and purpose to life. Do not try to adopt all of these habits at once. Choose one or two that resonate most deeply with your heart and begin there. As you practice consistently with love and patience, you will find that other habits naturally begin to emerge in your life. Remember that the goal is not perfection but progress. Even the greatest saints had to begin somewhere. What matters is your sincere desire to grow, to serve, to love more fully with each passing day. The world needs highly vibrational people now more than ever. As you raise your own consciousness, you automatically lift the consciousness of everyone around you. You become a light in the darkness, a source of hope and healing for all who cross your path. Trust in the divine process. Trust in your own innate goodness. Trust that as you align yourself with these sacred habits, you are fulfilling your highest purpose and contributing to the awakening of all humanity. Go forth with love, dear ones. The divine within you blesses the divine within all beings.